I'm like nervous to go into each new song because I haven't disliked a single song on this album. Like every single song has been awesome, and I'm so nervous that the next song is not going to be great. I really hope that's not the case. I want this to be a perfect album. What's up, friends? Today we're checking out Rosie by ROSÉ. We'll be looking at it from the perspective of a producer and songwriter, so expect a few pauses as we go through the album. Big fan of Blackpink. Personally, I have a slight bias toward Lisa, but ROSÉ was my celebrity crush about a year and a half ago because she's just a little cutie Aussie girl. And I think she's a great songwriter, performer, etc. So I'm really excited to check out this album. I think she's great. We'll start with number one, Girl, because I haven't done a proper reaction to this song yet.
It's late at night, isn't it lonely? I'd do any...
I really like that transfer into the chorus because they don't change the instrumentation. They just change the way that those instruments are produced, so that piano just has a different filter over it, and the vocals have a lot more reverb and echo to them. It's cool. Great song. I like a lot of things about it. I really like the way that they kind of increase the vocal layering as the song goes on. So first chorus, you have that reverb and echo added to the vocal. And then on that second verse, you have a double that comes in. Chorus, have a little bit more double and harmony stuff going on. And then that bridge, she's really going off, showing off her capabilities as a really great belter. And then final chorus, you have just this big chorus backing her up, like just a bunch of voices. I think that's cool how they just like add it. I like the percussion coming in on that second chorus. I think that's very cool. I like how that was introduced. I think this song is really well written with the consideration of Rosé's vocal, because she does have that really powerful kind of like rock type of vocal, and this gives like rock ballad vibes. I think the subject matter of the song is interesting as well, that you know, if this person is just willing to even have her as number one, as far as, you know, girls or people go, that she's willing to do so much just for that. Just, like, she doesn't even want to be the only, she just wants to be the number one, which is, I think, is such an interesting concept to play with there. I think it's cool. Yeah, it's really well written. I really like how that song turned out. Okay, we're gonna go on to 3 a.m.
I need you really, really that bad. Don't wanna run.
The introduction of the trap drums just makes so much sense. I did not like see the song going that direction. It was like surprising, but it fit really well, and I love that.
What else, slowly, words roll off my tongue, you're everything.
I really like how that atmospheric synth breaks through when she says holy. Like, that's just a really good moment of matching the production with what's going on lyrically.
I just wanted to be you.
I really like that back and forth. I just wanted to be you. I think that's such a great just kind of like back and forth with the vocals. I really like how that A is treated so differently in terms of its vocal production, really emphasizing kind of those higher frequencies. I love the mix of acoustic guitars with trap, making this thing that seemed just like another acoustic ballad. I was almost thinking, oh man, we got two ballads in a row. And then once those drums come, it completely morphs the song and makes it this really fun kind of banger track. Yeah, like 3 a.m. a lot. That is a really cool song. And I like the concept too of wanting this person to be that person, to, you know, be there when you're going through those kind of like intense emotional moments that you might go through at 3 a.m. Yeah, very cool. Also, I feel like her vocals have a bit of like a Halsey thing going on, and Halsey has a song called 3 a.m. So I think it's kind of fun that they both have their 3 a.m. songs now. I wonder if that was inspired or if she just did it. Okay, we got 2 years next.
Another night, another fight. Even try with someone new, someone nice.
I like how this has kind of like that 80s retro vibe with the synths, but the drums feel a lot more modern and dry. That is so cool. Like, that's such an interesting mix.
Said I can't move on. Yeah, I try.
I love how that chorus kind of throws you for a loop. Like you think it's going one way, it has this kind of more rhythmic thing with a lot of words, and then I try, which is such a great pairing.
Maybe I'm just
I really, really, really like that song. I think the subject matter is awesome. I love this idea of a love that's been gone and dead for a long time, but it still is living rent free in your head, whether you want it to or not, and just trying to let it go, but it's so hard. It's so relatable. I feel like I remember like everyone I've been in love with so well. So I think that's just such a relatable concept. I'm even working on a new album for my own kind of artistic merits. And I have a song that's about a relationship that's been done for forever. Like she's moved on, she's married, she's like having a kid type of thing. But I'm like, I still want to tell the story because there's still like something there. I don't want to reignite any of that, but it's still like there are emotion things that I want to let go of. And I think it's very cool when music can take that place for a person. So I think this is a cool song. I like the way that the overall sonic landscape was created. I love that kind of like 80s synth vibes, those kind of like pulsating synths. But then the drums sound incredibly modern. Just not going for that old 80s synth vibe at all. Like really taking it to no. I know you're expecting me to go one place with the production here, but we're not going to go there. We're going to go someplace different. And I love like the Max Martin inspirations with that kind of yelled vocal in the background. And that works really, really well. Yeah, just a killer track. That's a really good track. I'm surprised that's not one of the singles. Toxic at the end. Toxic till the end.
honestly impressive. You had me.
This is so good. This is like making me like have shivers down my spine, like want to cry. The and fun. It's just like this huge thing that just like attacks our brains. It's so sick. That song is incredible. That is so good. I really love that synth that leads into the bridge, and then that kind of stop-start bridge thing. The like that's such like a good rhythm for a bridge. It fits so well with kind of the energy that you would want to have in a bridge. I like changing up bridges a lot. Anyone who listens to my music that I put out or stuff I put out with Jack would know. And that bridge just sounds awesome. I really, really, really like what they've done there. There's so much good stuff in that song. It feels like my favorite era of Taylor Swift type music. It's like it's getting those same feelings. I'm feeling as I'm listening to this album the same way I did, at least for these four tracks, as when I first listened to 1989, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is one of the coolest pop albums I've ever listened to in my entire life. And that is how I'm feeling right now. This is just a really incredible pop album, at least first 4 songs. I'm excited to see what's to come with the rest. I mean, I've already listened to Apatha, but I'm excited to see what's to come. Okay, we got Drinks for Coffee next up. Drinks or Coffee next up.
I'm feeling so good out of bed.
I was so nervous going into the chorus that they were going to change up the percussion because I like the percussion so much, just like from the get-go, and they didn't. They kept that sick chorus, like they kept the cool rhythm going into that chorus. They just added like another hit on the 2s and 4s with a synth. It's so cool.
We gotta keep it nice. We cannot be naughty. We could get drinks or we could.
Oh man, the subject matter and lyrics of this song are so cool too.
We don't have to talk.
What a great idea.
Drinks, coffee, or coffee. Just call me, yeah.
Whoa. Man, every song is just, if every song on this album is a banger, I'm going to just like lose my mind because that one was so good too. Drinks or Coffee. I like the central premise of that song of being like, hey, I'm at a bad party. I'm at a place where things aren't great. Like either it's boring or people are just getting a little too rowdy, but I'm having a great time because you're here and you're interesting. I want to see you more. It's so captivating. It feels like I'm having chemistry with ROSÉ as she's singing this song. This is just so well done. And that rhythm is so sick. that chorus is just banging. There's not like a bad part of this song. Every single part of this song is great and fun, and it has like a polish to the vocals, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but it sounds a lot like what Teddy did for Jeon Somi's Fast Forward. It has like that same vocal quality from that here, so it makes me think Teddy is almost like 100% the producer on this song. Oh man, that's so good. I really, really like that. Man, okay. So good. What a great song. Why are all these songs so good? Okay, I've already done a reaction to this song. It's a great song. I'm going to see how it places within the context of the album, but yeah.
Kissy face, sent to your phone, but I'm trying to kiss your lips for real.
The way this fits within the context of the album is so cool because we've had more and more rhythmic dependence, and this song is like 100% drum dependent, and it just goes with that same theme that we've been seeing throughout the last two songs, especially Drinks Your Coffee. Like, it feels like it's happening at the same party.
Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy.
Oh, that song's so cool. I really like the synth work on that song, and it fits really well within the context of the synth work of like previous songs. I feel like Toxic at the End had a really similar synth that they were using. Toxic Till the End. And I think it's really cool now, knowing more context, that chorus is just part of the chant with the drinking game itself. And that explains kind of like why that bridge has that more melodic part, why that has like more of that main catchy portion of the song, and then we just go into like the drinking chant, which is such a great way to showcase a piece of your culture. It's so cool. Yeah, and it fits so well within the context of the album. When I first saw the song released, I thought, why isn't this a Bruno Mars featuring ROSÉ song? Because Bruno Mars internationally is a bigger name than ROSÉ, even though, you know, within the K-pop community, ROSÉ is huge. And now hearing it in context of the album, I think there's no way you could have it anywhere else. It needs to be here. It's necessary. It has to be ROSÉ featuring Bruno Mars because it's so important within the context of the album. Like, it has to be like on ROSÉ's YouTube channel. It has to be like on this album. It can't be anywhere else. It just fits so well. Okay, Game Boy's next up.
10 times gave you my favorite memories. Yeah, I hate the way I let you in.
I love the Y2K influence on this. I love the drums being very Y2K and that guitar line being very Y2K, very reminiscent of things like why can't I think of the name? The ones who did Scrubs. TYC something.
Taking me on a chase, boy. Say what you wanna say. You're never gonna change.
The background vocals on that chorus with the ooze below, and then also, you know, harmonies going with Game Boy. So cool. It's so cool, and they're all treated differently.
Whatever. Something's just meant to be, kinda like you and me.
I was so worried going into this album because I read the little like blurb about it that was like, oh, you know, like this is a lot about past relationships and her kind of heartbreak over it. I was so worried that this was going to be one of those really somber heartbreak albums, especially because, you know, Rosé has some really somber songs. I mean, Number One Girl's a more somber song. On the Floor is a more somber song. But this is so fun and it's so poppy, and it talks about heartbreak and relationships in these really intricate, mature ways that's super cool. And it's just been an awesome pop album. It's so cool. I really like it. Game Boy as a title of a song is so evocative too, because as someone who grew up partially in the 90s, you know, Game Boys were a really big deal. Like, that was like the thing, Game Boy. And her switching up, you see Game Boy and you're like, oh, she's going to say you're like a Game Boy. But instead she says it's always been a Game Boy, which is this really different way to take it. Yeah. And it's so conscious of the modern pop landscape. This album, like every part of this album is so conscious of what's going on right now, and it's adding to the conversation in a really cool, good way. It's such a great showcase of ability. from ROSÉ as a singer, as a songwriter, and as an artist. Stay a Little Longer is next up.
When I'm here calling your name.
That vocal fry break on the chorus in her vocal is so well done. It adds so much emotion to that chorus. It's so good.
What if I tangled some rope around your feet into the...
Oh, okay. I heard that snare on the second verse and I thought, oh, that's a really weird snare, and I really like how weird it is. It's very electronic and it's super dry. And I thought, what are they going to do going into the actual chorus? And they changed the snare, and it sounds really good. It sounds really appropriate.
pieces, already having enough trouble breathing.
Oh, that song is so good. I was thinking at first, I'm like, I've been having so much fun, but that ballad came at just right moment within the sequencing of the album as kind of a, okay, now let's take a breath and let's feel it. But then she just destroys with that really emotional vocal delivery. And I think there's words I can't remember. There was like something about being beneath, already having enough trouble breathing. That is such a good line. I really, really, really like that line. It's very, very effective. Yeah, it's like saying, this is already so hard. Just like stay for another second. It's such an emotional, good lyric. Yeah, I really like it. I like the production on that song. I like the guitar that's added in that second chorus. It really livens up things. Like at first it starts really, really slow, but the added instrumentation and the rhythmic way that those instruments are added, including the drums, including the guitars, really adds this energy to the song that's really, really nice. And then her vocals take on more of a belting quality, more of a really active emotional quality. It's great. I'm like nervous to go into each new song because I haven't disliked a single song on this album. Like every single song has been awesome, and I'm so nervous that the next song is not going to be great. I really hope that's not the case. I want this to be a perfect album. Okay, not the same.
On me right, shame on me for trusting you once, trusting you twice. Yeah,
This is such a crazy song. Like I love how there's just this really simple instrumentation. It's very like charming, but she's so rhythmic on top of it and so brutal, and her emotions are so intense that, and it's so well conveyed through her vocal performance that it's like, you wouldn't know. There's so much energy to it.
No, you're not the same, not the same, not the same. Oh.
Ooh, that organ coming in on that bridge, such a great add. It has such a great character to it, really focusing on the high end. Yeah, it's so cool.
And you know that I'm right. I don't know who.
What an awesome song. The songwriter's destroyed on that. The not the same, not the same, not the same, like not repeating it too many times, but still adding like a repetitive thing that's super memorable with the thing. I love how her vocals were produced on this song and throughout the album, really. But on this song specifically, I love how they compress just right. Like that compression is hitting just at exactly the levels it needs to as she's going into those belts. And they're creating like nice distance and volume with it. Her vocals sound amazing on this song. Yeah, and the rhythmic quality that they have, like it's so raw. Like there's so few elements. You just have like these kind of like atmospheric things. You have a little bit of a kind of bells, and then you have that guitar, and then her vocals. No super prominent rhythmic components besides that guitar. And her vocal functions so well rhythmically, and it adds so much timing and swag to the song. It's very cool. The writers on this song should be incredibly proud of what they've done, the producers, and then Rosé's vocal performance, of course, which was insane. It's great. Okay, call it the end. I'm so nervous.
Call you the one or the one that got away. Someone I'll just have to.
That chorus is crazy. That's such a cool lyrical idea. Like, what do we call this now? Oh my goodness. Oh.
Should I call it the end?
Man, I thought I wasn't going to like it because it was a ballad, and I'm not like a huge ballad guy, but that song is great. It was a great song. I really like the ooze on the end. It reminded me of Dresner, I think is his name, from the Nationals. Dreisner? I don't know. But it reminded me of that. The way his vocals sound. No, not him. The other guy. Oh, who am I thinking of? It's the guy Lost in the World. It sounds a lot like how he does his vocals. Lost in the Woods. Maybe? 22 a Million, I think, is one of his albums. I don't know. I can't remember his name. Okay. Too Bad for Us. Man. I mean, there's only 2 left. There's no way you can mess this up at this point. It's like perfect. This is a perfect album.
And that's just too bad for us.
I have a feeling this song's going to turn up. It's been quiet so far. Yep.
Almost touched the sun, I guess we got too close. Now
I really like that subtle percussion that they're using in the background for the second verse. It has a really cool sound to it, and it's so subtle.
back for us.
I like that echo on that vocal at the end. There's like a few different vocals that they have echoing in different ways, and I like the different effects they have on the different echoes. Yeah, probably my least favorite song on the album. Still a good song. Like, it could be a highlight on someone's album, but on this album that has been amazing, it's good. It's not great. You know, I don't dislike it. It's just not my favorite. Yeah, it's cool. Cool song. It's good. Okay, Dance All Night. I hope this is a big dance number to end it out. I hope it's not sad. Because I feel like we've gotten a lot of, like, not as hype songs for a little while here. Like, even though Not the Same had a really, like, active thing going on, it was still not the most hype song. And I want, like, a fun hype song to end it out.
And I didn't know what to say, but I would.
Okay. Oh, I was so nervous with the beginning of that song. I'm like, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if it's going to be hype. And then it turned hype. Oh. Relief.
I wouldn't be so in my head. 3 words every chance that I get.
I like how she's still maintaining some of the somber tone with this song while still, like, having it be so fun. Like, there's these little lyrics here and there that are like, this is a what if situation. That's not actually how I live. This is how I'd want to live. Great idea for songwriting. I really like how that guitar builds into the vocal runs on the choruses. And oh, the song's just great. That's a great ender song. That's like, it's fun, it's dancey, but it's not like the most intense rhythmically or like danceable ability vibes song on the album, but it's still like a celebration song, and it gave a nice break because there were a lot of non-rhythmic focused songs right in a row. You had 4 songs that were really not relying on danceability, from Stay a Little Longer to Too Bad for Us. So having that at the end really, like, was perfect. Yeah. Okay. Man, I really like this album. This might be one of my favorite albums of all time, but I hesitate to say that because this is my first listen, and I don't want to make those types of judgment calls so early on. But it is, like, it is making me think, man, why am I doing hip hop right now when pop is so cool? When people can do this with pop, why am I doing hip hop? Like, why is that the genre I'm focusing on right now when something like this exists? You know, it's that good. It's so good. I really like this album. I really hope more people listen to it. I want to, like, send it to everyone now. Oh, I'm becoming a little blink right before my eyes. I hope she does a tour. I really hope she does a tour. I will buy tickets as soon as they, like, drop for that tour. This is really good. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite albums of the year, with, like, Porter's album, which was really good, Porter Robinson, the Catria di Paco Moroso album, which was awesome, and then this album. And then my album, of course. I really like my album, but I, like, have, like, that bias, you know? Oh man, what a good piece of music. It's so good. I want it to win everything now. It's so good. I like it. I really, really like this. Okay, I need to calm down. Chill out. Hey, people who are watching this, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, I put out my own music, and it would mean the world to me if you would check it out. I know it's kind of a bother, and it's not exactly the same genre as this. I am working on making a girl group. We're so close to having everything ready to debut. So soon I'll be able to promote that stuff here. But for now, you have to check out my music that I've put out myself. If you want to help, that would mean the world to me. Thanks so much. Catch you on the flip.
I wanna love you. I love you.